Safety chains. Look, they're a necessary precaution should the worst happen when you're caravanning along the highway. When we're hitching up, we're always told that we should crisscross the chains, the idea being that the coupling will have somewhere to rest should the van and the vehicle become decoupled. Look, that idea sounds okay in theory, but does it actually work? Well, in a controlled way, that's what we're going to find out today. Okay, so here's the plan. First, I'm going to fit the jockey wheel and I'm going to raise my DO35 coupling off the tow bar, and then I'm going to inch my vehicle forward just enough to put some tension on those chains to replicate what we would assume would happen in a real world situation if the vehicle and van became decoupled. And yes, if I was to try this again, I would take the trailer plug out first. Well, as you can see, those chains now are super tight. And you know, that's the first time I've ever tried anything like that. And I was really surprised by how tightly you could feel those chains pull in the driver's cab. I heard a loud thunk and I knew it was time to stop. Only one thing left to do now, and that's to gently lower the jockey wheel and see where the coupling ends up. So it's interesting, that's as loose as the chains can actually be with the shackle on the very last link in the chains. Now, obviously, that's not an ideal setup for this vehicle and this van, because you can see that the coupling isn't quite resting on the crisscross shape. In fact, it's actually just resting on the very edge of the chains, on the very edge of the coupling. Now, would that actually rescue the van in the event of an emergency? Look, I don't think so. So what else can we try? Well, I'm going to try tightening the chains by 1, maybe 2 links, and we'll see what happens. As I wound down the jockey wheel, it became immediately clear that tightening the safety chains by 1 link would keep the coupling off the bitumen if the van became detached. How about that? Crossing your safety chains actually does make a difference, as we've seen. What we've learned though is that setting the D-shackle on the second, if not the third link, really is the ideal scenario for this setup. Now, would I recommend that every caravaner tries this? Look, probably not. After all, there is some risk to your equipment and the potential to be hurt in the process, but it turns out that what they've said about crossing your safety chains has been right all along.